Hello friends, today rant is, do you need a roommate? But careful, having a roommate can save you some money, but at the same time can bring problems, so let the rant begin.
So I got into literally, I think the biggest fight I've ever gotten into with my roommate last night. And I don't know if you can tell by these awful dark circles and under eye bags, but I literally got no sleep. And honestly, I want to talk about it because number one, I'm still so hurt and angry and upset that I just need to get it out. And also some of you might relate to having an awful roommate situation. And she's blocked on everything, by the way, so she's not going to see this. But my roommate, my girl roommate, I live with a couple, so her and her boyfriend, she is quite literally one of the most disrespectful and inconsiderate people I think I've ever met in my life. We have had problems in the past, but I have always obviously wanted a very peaceful and livable household. So when we have had issues in the past, we've been able to sit down and have been like, look, you know, this is what happened and this is kind of like how it made me feel. Like, let's figure this out, basically. I don't want to live in a hostile environment and I need fucking peace in my life. And I've just come to realize that this person is so deeply inconsiderate and probably so deeply miserable in her own existence as a human being that she can't live peacefully and she can't approach issues peacefully. Regardless of who it is that you live with, no two people are the same, okay? So you're gonna have different ways of living and things are just gonna come up in a roommate situation. And the way you communicate when these problems come up and the way you handle it says everything. Anyway, so I'm at work and she starts blowing up my fucking phone over an issue that could have been resolved had we had an in-person conversation and sat down. But instead she literally fucking attacked me and said I've never been spoken to this way. Like the most disgusting, foul ass fucking language. My best friend and I have been friends for 8 years. We lived together previously for 3 years. We've gotten into some fights, okay? In any friendship, you're gonna have a fight. My best friend and I have never ever once spoken to each other this way or ever even remotely got as close to being as disrespectful as the way this bitch talked to me last night. When we all moved in together, we had the agreement that we were not going to do the like splitting food thing. Like, this is your food, this is my food. Basically, the agreement that we came to is if you ate something and you finish the last of it, you replace it, right? Understandable. And it's been this way for the last 6 months since we've all lived together. And so I ate and finished off the last of one of her snacks, reordered it. Literally, it arrived yesterday. And in this argument, this bitch had the audacity to say to me, you wouldn't have eaten all my food if you didn't have a raging eating disorder. Girl, what the fuck? Literally, who talks to somebody like who says something like that to a person? Especially when when we've had conversations at length about my history of disordered eating. Also, I don't know if you can hear their dog screaming his head off in the back, but every time they leave him, their dog does this and howls for hours and barks his head off. Anyway, what transpired after this conversation was basically the both of them trying to essentially intimidate me and bully me out of moving out of my own fucking house, which is not gonna happen, okay? Paid a fat ass deposit to move into this beautiful big home. And now she wants to like act like a fucking victim. And she's like, oh, we're being, now we have to live together against our own will. She wants to act like a victim in a problem she created. And the situation has me so upset and so angry. But I've also realized, like, how sad for her. Like how sad that a grown-ass fucking adult has, number one, zero communication skills, zero conflict resolution skills, and is so deeply heinous and foul and just an outright fucking mean girl. Like, you're a mean girl at 27? Gross. And I deeply believe that people like this and who she is her own karma. And it sucks that I have to live with this evil bitch for 6 more months, but it is what it is.
Let's talk about one of the biggest fears that incoming freshmen have, which is having a bad roommate. Because not gonna hold you, having a bad roommate can affect your freshman year. This is coming from somebody that had a horrible roommate her freshman year. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Let me give you some advice when it comes to roommates that I wish I knew when I was going through my roommate problems. Number one, before the first week of campus is over, you guys need to have a sit-down chat. And when I say sit-down chat, I'm talking about a red table talk type of chat where y'all tell each other about your living space and what you deal with and what you don't deal with. And I mean everything. Please do not be one of those people that lie. If you are not clean, tell them that you are not clean. If you are a night owl, don't tell them you're an early morning person. Do not lie to your roommates. Be honest. Please. Y'all should also go over the rules that you'll have for your room. Like cleanup days, what time you guys go to bed, stuff like that. But please be mindful of this. When you guys are doing this, don't try to sound like a freaking parent. Y'all are both the same age. Nobody controls the other one. Understand? I'll say that one more time. You cannot control your roommate, and your roommate cannot control you. Y'all are both age mates. No one is better than the other one. Remember that. Also, another thing. If you start having problems with your roommate, the first thing that you should do is try to have a conversation with them. See if those matters can be fixed. If they do not get fixed the first time, don't try to have a conversation with them again. Go to your RA. Just go to the RA. This is, again, coming from somebody that had to deal with a bad roommate the entire year. Don't waste no time, please. Don't try to thug it out. Because you're going to thug it out until it's the end of the school year and y'all almost fight each other and there's no time to change rooms. Don't thug it out. If they don't listen the first time, go to the RA and complain. They will deal with that problem. If the problems still continue, ask for that room switch. I don't care. Ask for the room switch. Your freshman year should be all about peace and learning about yourself, not stressing about the person that lives 3 feet away from you because you don't know what they're going to do in your sleep. Okay? That's all the advice I have for this video. If you guys want some more roommate tips, let me know. I will answer all y'all questions. Don't ask me for a story time on my roommate. That's not happening. Mind your business. But besides that, I will see y'all in the next video, and y'all be safe.
So if you've been following along from my roommate drama within the last couple of days, it is definitely starting to get to me, and I do not like it. It is starting to affect my mental health to the point where, like, yesterday I legit had a breakdown, like, on my way to work yesterday, just because, like, the situation had escalated so much. And then, of course, like, I tried to get on a train, and train is running express, and, like, I was going to be late to work if I had to take the express train back and then wait for another train, and so that just kind of, like, set me off, and, like, I do not like feeling this way at all. Also, the fact that basically I have no options at this point. If you've watched the last 2 videos, you know that I've asked him to leave early. He's leaving on June 28th, but because things have escalated, I tried to ask him to leave sooner, and I've had no luck. The police cannot help me because he has a legal right to be here, because New York has really, really strict tenant laws, and it sucks for people like me and works for people like him. And I feel very resentful. I do not like saying I hate anyone, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I hate him. He's made me so resentful. I do not feel comfortable in my own apartment. I'm an actor. I have auditions. I can't even really focus for my auditions right now. Luckily, I haven't had anything like this week. That's been crazy, thankfully. So I've had a little bit of a mental break, but like, I do not like feeling this way. Mostly because I feel like helpless, and I basically just have to wait it out until June 28th, and it sucks because living with an alcoholic and someone who also potentially has mental health issues, because I know it's more than just alcohol, but like, and I know he's sick and there's a disease, but like, it doesn't make it any better. And I've tried to be so empathetic, and now I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. I have no more empathy for you. You've made me and my roommate's life a living hell. Like, it is not okay. And your drinking has gotten so out of hand that I do not feel safe in my own apartment. I do not feel safe in my own apartment. But I'm trying to stay hopeful. I'm trying to just take it one day at a time, and hope that I do not have to continue to call the police. But at this point, my only option is, if we keep having more drunken fits, I will continue to call the police and have them take him out of the apartment. But then I legally have to let him back in when he is done, which is the thing that freaking sucks. I don't like feeling angry. I don't like feeling resentful. I don't like saying I hate someone. But at this point, he's fully brought that out in me, and I do not like it. It's not okay. It's starting to like really affect my mental health. And like, I cannot wait for June 28th to come, because I just want to be back to my happy self again. Luckily, my boyfriend is so supportive, and I have really great friends who've been there for me. And like, I just needed to come and vent to you guys, because it sucks until you're in this situation.
I always used to see videos that are like, don't move in with your friends, like, it'll ruin your friendship. And I never believed it, because I moved in with my closest friends, and we were going good. Like, literally no fights, no arguments about living together for a whole year. Until everybody decided that it would be smart for me to be the last person to find out that one of our friends and roommate hadn't been paying her rent in months, because she was paying her parents' rent. Like, no shade. You could have moved out. If you knew you were going to be paying the rent, I mean, all shade. Why the fuck you ain't move out? Like, oh, that's noble. You're paying your parents' rent. Bitch, what about ours? Like, and even then I was still trying to be sympathetic because this was my real life friend. I go and talk to her about it. I don't care. I know I should care, but I don't. I would do it 100 times over. If I had $1 million tomorrow, I would give it all to my parents. And not to our other friend whose mom you owe thousands of dollars. You what? My main point in being mad at her, we're supposed to be friends. You couldn't tell me my rent was going up hundreds of dollars. I asked her that. Her response to me was, my rent is personal to me. We are paying the same rent. We're paying rent for the same motherfucking house. Like, I don't really get it. Like, I'm paying the same amount you're supposed to be paying, and I'm paying the same amount that the person whose name is on the lease is putting in as well. They aren't paying the whole fucking rent. I mean, they started paying half once they started paying her bum ass rent. But we pay the same amount, so how the fuck is that not my business? And then the craziest thing is this bitch had money that she could have been sending to the person who's on the lease that was putting up rent for her. The person told her, send me any amount that you can. This bitch sent a whopping total of 0 in that, but was getting her braids done, getting her toes done, eating out every motherfucking day, but is trying to be a culinary chef. How the fuck that work, bitch? Everything just didn't line up. So, I guess moral of this motherfucking story is, fuck cancer women. Get the fuck away from me. If you are a cancer woman or man, I swear to God, I will... Oh, I'm about to change my motherfucking name to I hate cancers. Not just men and women.
With all the laws that are in place, you really have to think about if having a roommate is worth it and the laws you have to deal with about trying to kick someone out of your place.
Bro, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you don't do your dishes, you're a bad roommate. If you leave your laundry in the laundry area after it's done for a long period of time, you are a bad roommate. If you invite your friends over every single night and your roommate doesn't get time to themselves, as in like your friends are using all the toilet paper and the dish soap and all of that because they basically live with you, you're a bad roommate. If you play music after a certain amount of time and you guys haven't like discussed that as a thing, or you listen to TV hella loud to go to sleep and so your roommate is just like can't function because you're loud as fuck, you're a bad roommate. If you don't spend at least some point of your day like your week just doing like public space cleaning, you know what I mean? Like taking out the trash and, you know, wiping down the counters and stuff. Like, that's just what considerate roommates do. And if you don't flush the toilet, you're a bad roommate. And if you don't replace things, you're a bad roommate. And if you eat your roommate's food, you're a really bad roommate. Like that, you're an asshole.
Be careful out there. If you need a roommate, you better choose wisely because getting that person out of your place is not something you want to deal with at all. Thank you for watching until next time.